So the only things left that I have to do now is put in a nut, put the pickup in, put on the bridge, and that's about it. But before I have to do that, I have to stain it. And before I stain it, I've been asked to burn a message on. Sometimes I do wood burning, so I'll put an image of maybe a band or a singer or someone like that, something like that. But this time I'm doing a message, so I'm going to burn a message on the back. So I'll have to trace that onto the wood first, so I'm going to do that now. So I just used tracing paper, carbon paper, whatever you want to call it, and then I've written it into the wood, so I just need to go over it with this wood burning pen. So I'll just go and do that now. So that's the message burned onto the wood. I'm also going to burn my initials probably down here, and I will burn dots along here. Even though there's dots on the surface, it's nice to have dots facing you, so I'll just burn a little dot for the 3rd, 5th, 7th, etc. And then I'll spray the whole thing with this clear lacquer, 2 or 3 coats possibly, thin coats. Let it dry in between, so I'll just go and do all that now. So I've burned those dots on the side, I've burned my own initials on. You should always initial your own work, and stained it. So it's, the wood's all coming out now, the nice grain in it and stuff, so it looks very nice. So next part I need to do is, well, one of the next parts I need to do is put the bridge on, but the bridge, the holes that secure the bridge are slightly wider than the neck. So what I'll need to do is put wood on the inside, if I could get this open. Put some wood on the inside where the bridge goes, so that I can secure the screws into it through the box. So I'll get 2 pieces of wood that thick and just a little bit wider than that, so I'll just do that now. So I've cut those pieces and clamped them in. I meant to say in the last video that when I'm clamping wood into the box, like the neck or anything else, I use a little slither of wood on the outside of the box just to protect it when it's getting clamped. Just makes sense, really. So once that's dried, I'll be able to do the bridge and the nut and the pickup. So I'm going to install the pickup now into the pre-drilled hole and holes there. Just push these through the top, secure them at the top, and put the jack in around the back. So I'll just do that now. So that's the pickup screwed in, volume and tone controls installed, and the jack. And inside I've taped the wire down just so that it doesn't interfere with anything else, it's not wobbling about while it's being played or anything like that. Plus I don't want the wire to get trapped underneath the neck when I close the lid. So next part I'll need to do is put the bridge on. And what I've done here is I've set these to about halfway so that I've got room either way to set the intonation right. So I'll just screw that into the wood that's inside the box, and that should be the bridge. I've already marked it there from earlier, so it'll sit about there, but I'll measure it from the sides as well, just so that it's dead centre. And so I'll just do that now. So that's the bridge screwed in, nice and tight. And last thing I've got to do is the nut. I've got a blank here, so I need to cut that to length, and then I want to round it off at one edge and then put grooves in it for the strings quite thin grooves so that the strings don't move or that'll create a buzz. And I want to cut a slot in the neck here to about there. Hopefully that will sit in nicely, but I can work my way down if I don't go too deep. So I'll just go and cut this to length now, and then I'll sandpaper the edge to make it rounded. So I'll do that now. That's the nut cut to length. I rounded it at that side. Focus. And then I marked the centre of it, and then I marked 10mm intervals for the string slots to go. So that's the B string at that end, so that'll be a thinner slot, and they'll get thicker as they go that way. So I'll just go and slot that now. So that's the slots cut. So now all I've got to do is get this into focus and cut the part where it's just sitting at the top of the neck. So that's the nut slot cut, and I think I've got it to about the right height now, where that'll just sit at about the right height for the strings to come over for a decent action. I've taken one of the strings out already, just as a guide, and it looks like the action will be fairly low. I could go further down if I want. I've also got some work I can do with the bridge to make it lower. So I'm just going to glue the nut in now, and I can always take it out again if I feel that the action's a bit too high, but I'll just glue the nut in, and next video hopefully it'll just be me stringing it up, giving it a go. I've also got these decorative protective corners that I quite like, so I've super glued those onto the corners, and hopefully all I have to do now is string it up and play about with the intonation and the string height, and I'll make a video of that soon.